The president suggesting that the massive hack may have been carried out by someone else, not Russia. Let's go to NBC's Josh Lederman. He's joining me from Washington, D.C. Josh, let's get right to what the president's saying about this.
These are the first comments from the president since this hack first came to light a week ago, Alex. And instead of talking about the risks here, which have been laid out across the board by national security officials about this hack that has now affected the Treasury Department, the Defense Department, the State Department, the U.S. National Security Agency, the Cybersecurity Agency, and many others, the president instead is downplaying this and directly contradicting Secretary of State Mike Pompeo about who might have been behind it. The president tweeting just a few minutes before we came on the air that the cyber hack is far greater in the fake news media than in actuality. President Trump saying he's been fully briefed and that everything's under control, but that Russia, Russia, Russia is the priority chant when this kind of thing happens. The president raising the prospect that, in fact, it could have been China. The president also making the alarming comment that it could have been also involving some type of cyber breach of our elections system, which is not something that we have heard from any security officials in the last week or so. Now, these comments suggesting that it could have actually been Beijing behind this attack and downplaying the severity of it directly contradicted what we heard from Secretary of State Pompeo just yesterday as he gave an interview to a radio host. Take a listen to what Pompeo had to say.
There was a significant effort to use a piece of third-party software to essentially embed code inside of U.S. government systems and now appears systems of private companies and governments across the world as well. This was a very significant effort, and I think it's the case that now we can say pretty clearly that it was the Russians that engaged in this activity.
And in fact, Alex, we had started hearing from U.S. officials and from other cybersecurity officials as long ago as 1 week ago, basically as soon as this came to light, that all signs pointed to Russia. So now we are asking the White House and the State Department why the president is suggesting without any evidence that, in fact, this was China. So far, radio silence from them. But this is just the latest example, Alex, that we've seen over the last 4 years of the president downplaying the threat to the United States from Russia, seeming to cover for Russian President Vladimir Putin when there have been signs of Russian malign activity towards the United States, including the alleged paying of bounties or offering of bounties to troops in Afghanistan to kill U.S. troops and other actions by the Russians that have not seemed to get the response from President Trump that security officials have said is merited by their behavior.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.